hard on outside, gooey on the middle. One example with respect to this anti-pattern, you have anti-pattern name as hard on outside, gooey on the middle, also known as two-step pop, Tootsie Pop, and defense in depth, and perimeter security, protect everything from all threats. That is another names. And refractor solution names is HBSS network enclaves, and unbalanced primal forces, that is management of confidentiality. Anecdotal evidence is each user's browser is sending thousands of spyware beacons every day, and advanced persistent threat. Our networks are totally secure. We have a firewall. That is anecdotal evidence. See, sometimes whenever we are going for IT industry and all, always they will be, if they are considering the external protection only as the main protection towards their organization, internally if they are not giving a security with respect to each and every device, then also it will be a problem. That they are telling in the anecdotal evidence. Each user's browser is sending thousands of spyware beacon every day. Okay, and advanced persistent threat says that our networks are totally secure, and we have a firewall with respect to the overall organization. The people will in the organization will be thinking in that way. Okay, in anti-pattern solution, traditional network architecture includes three major domains: the internet boundary or DMZ, the data center storage area network, SAN, storage area network, and the rest of the networks, that is intranet. For example, in between the DMZ and intranet, there are network security devices, including a firewall and possibly an IDS and IPN. And network security is concentrated at the firewall. The firewalls are assumed to protect the entire network. If I am considering with respect to firewall, and if DMZ internet boundary is given, and IDS or IPS type of protection is provided for the overall network. If I am considering with respect to overall network of an organization or industry, okay, and in theory, firewall protect the network by hiding the internet IP addresses through network address translation. Always, whenever we are seeing with respect to firewalls, they will protect your system by providing network address translation, and it will protect your IP address, and it will translate into some other value, and it will be visible for the attackers in the some other format, and blocking incoming packet traffic on denied port numbers. Okay, whatever the denied port numbers are there, for those denied port numbers, you are blocking all the incoming packets. Okay, and in practice, most packet traffic is concentrated on very few outgoing ports, primarily 35, 53 and 80, and 443 are the port numbers where you will be transmitting the data from your system towards the other networks. These correspond to the domain name called as HTTP, HTTPS protocols. Those have these type of port numbers, okay, which are the core protocols of the World Wide Web. These outgoing ports are open on virtually all firewalls. Uh, Malware and spyware writers are well aware of this fact and create their code to take advantage of these ubiquitously open ports. These three are the open ports where the systems which are present in the intranet can access the external networks. These ports are not secured enough with respect to comparison towards the external internet protection. That's why these open ports will, the external attackers or malwares will take the opportunity or take the advantage of these type of ports. Okay, browser-based spyware send beaconing packets from infected machines inside the firewall to port 80 on external controller services. To the firewall, these packets appear to be ordinary web traffic only. Okay, firewall will be checking related to C only three ports, that is 53, 30 and 443. Within that one only, if they are sending the malware, then it can't be observed by the firewall. For that reason, that is also one more problem. As and when they enter into inside the through the firewall, enter inside the network, intranet or industrial network through the firewall, then that will be a problem for your overall connection, overall network, or all the devices which are present in your organization. Okay, they can access any devices because all the devices are interconnected inside the organization. Example, if I am taking, overall organization is protected externally with respect to the internet, whatever the internet protection is provided, but internally the who all are users are there, if they are accessing the external websites, external Facebook pages, LinkedIn profiles, all those things, if they are opening inside the organization by using their administrative systems and all, at that time easily the malwares can pass through those type of connections like your Facebook pages or LinkedIn profiles and all, then easily the attacker can attack your whole system. If the system which is connected, which is inside the organization, then easily they can pass through all the devices which are interconnected with each other in the intranet. That's why uh, you can say that the firewall, if you are protecting the whole organization only by the external protection like firewall protection or internet protection by using DSN, all those things, then if the malware attacks through the some other websites and all, then it will affect overall organization within no time. That is the main problem. Okay, causes and symptoms and consequences, you can see the causes, symptoms and consequences of this anti-pattern includes no protected network enclaves inside the firewall on the intranet, no HBSS, no configuration monitoring, other cyber anti-patterns such as never read the logs are also causes and symptoms and consequences related to your crunchy on the edge and gooey on the middle. Known exceptions are for small networks of perhaps fewer than 50 users, a traditional network architecture might be workable. However, additional measures such as system hardening and HBSS should be implemented. And refracted solution and examples for large networks with extensive formation assets, intranet security should be carefully designed. What are the most critical information assets in the enterprise? See, whenever you are going with respect to protection with respect to overall organization, protecting from the outside is also good thing only by providing the firewall or IDS or IPN or DNS methods. If you are protecting the overall organization from externally and also provide the protection to the intranet also. Okay, intranet security should be provided to the systems or to the devices where you have a highly secured information. At least provide the security to those devices which has the overall information related to the organization, everything. Okay, what are the most critical information assets in the enterprise? For all those things, you have to provide the intranet security. These deserve additional protection such as the separate firewalled network enclaves with IDS and IPS network monitoring. Security should be forced on the assets most deserving of additional safeguards. Okay, and state of art security solutions include continuous configuration monitoring. Okay, whatever the state of security solutions are there, continuously you are monitoring with respect to the what all the security protections are provided with respect to systems. If any malware occurs, how to overcome from that, how to monitor, and how to provide the service with respect to that. Okay, there are tools such as tripwire that monitor the changes to key system files, that is files such as the kernel and dynamic link libraries, and other tools encapsulate both file system changes and application program interface, that is API calls, and preventing malicious actions such as the McAfee HPSS, and some tools perform uh, periodic security vulnerabilities and configuration testing such as Retina from EI, and Nessus from the Tenable, and any expose from Rapid7. These are the different type of configuration testing and security vulnerability testing. See, whenever you are running those type of tests on your system, always it will check for what all the vulnerabilities are there, through which path the hackers can enter into your system, or what all the configurations are there. If you are increasing the protect, if you want to increase the protection, how to increase the, or how to change the configurations of your firewall, or how to change the configurations of your antivirus security systems. Okay, all those things you can verify by running these type of security uh, tests. Okay, in practice, these tools are difficult to configure properly. For example, if you monitor the entire Windows registry for changes, alerts are generated from uh, innocuous changes such as time and date field, giving you a new alert about every minute when the system is ideal. And it is important to review configuration logs frequently whenever we want to check related to the configurations. Always frequently you have to check the logs. Okay, and